Hello, my friends. How are you doing with your level of curiosity? Is curiosity killing your relationship, or is it the cure for your relationship woes?
Hey, I'm Lydia. I used to be an ordinary stay-at-home mom and wife. We had 2 kids, and for 3 years, everything was perfect until we got pregnant again. But this time with quadruplets. There was so much stress going from a family of 4 to a family of 8 overnight, so I created a system for renewing our relationships. This channel is dedicated to sharing that system, every single part of it. I love teaching how to connect, manage emotions, and turn it all into growing together times. You're going to find all that information right here.
All right, welcome into this video. Today we are going to be talking about curiosity and what it does for our relationships and how we can increase a healthy kind of curiosity that will actually cure that wandering eye or that wandering mind, actually, because curiosity is a human need. Everybody has something to be curious. If you're not curious or wondering about the world around you, then you're kind of starting to die inside. And we wonder about kids when we're growing up. We ask questions. Why is the sky blue? How does the bird fly? We're curious. It's part of being human. There's a couple of other needs, we need food and water and shelter. We need some stuff, right? There's a whole hierarchy of needs, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And those are physical needs first. Curiosity is another need that is for our minds and our soul, and the rest of us, we need some other pieces to be able to be happy and continue being faithful, really. Let's be honest, when we're bored, we get bored. And if we've been in a relationship for a long time, we need to bring that curiosity back, because curiosity can kill the cat or the relationship. Or if you have a new, fresh, exciting kind of curiosity, it can cure all those ailments. Let me tell you what I mean. When you're curious, you ask questions, right? Do you ever ask your spouse questions anymore? Real questions, not how are you paying the bills today, or did you do the laundry yet? But real questions like, how did you feel about your meeting? How do you view this point of view? What do you think about this book? How do you feel is a really good one. What do you think is a really good one? And then make sure they're coming from a real curious place instead of, what do you think? And that tone of voice, when we use a tone of voice, it can carry a piece of curiosity, so that they understand we're asking out of curiosity. Or if we use a tone of voice that's kind of crunchy, then they won't feel like we really want to know. So when you ask a question, you raise the end. What is that, right? What is that? And you kind of raise it up. So here's the trick. You just ask a question. How's your day? Or you lift up the end of the sound in your tone, and it will carry in I'm really interested in knowing the answer to this question. Because how's your day? Whoa. It carries it down. And then they're not you don't really want to know, right? That's what we get subconsciously when we feel those tonalities. So if we are curious and we're asking real questions, how's your day? What happened in your day? And then listen and say, okay, so if they say something about basketball, follow the thread and ask another question about basketball. Your team, who's on the team, or is that guy coming back that he got injured? Really ask 3 questions about whatever it is that they say in the first response. Okay, I hope that makes sense, because this is so magical. In just a matter of minutes, really, you can turn someone's attention into, wow, they're really curious about me. They're really interested in knowing who I am. And we think a lot of times we've been in a relationship for a while and we start thinking that we know everything about them, but we don't. We don't know hardly anything. I've been married almost 27 years and I still find things that I don't know. I don't even know my husband's favorite food yet because he likes to eat and he likes everything, almost everything. But well, there's things that you haven't been there for their entire day of their entire life, and there are things that you just don't know, and you can ask questions and learn more. When we ask questions, it also diffuses arguments. So if we're in a heightened state of emotions and we're in an argument, kind of almost discussion that's going to be like exploding into a fight, right? It's a perfect time to get curious. Why are you so upset about this? What's bothering you? What's the real story? That's one of my favorite questions. What's the real story? I know all this stuff is happening and we've got all these symptoms going on, but what's the real story? If we layer it down and go, okay, this happened because of this, about this, and then that, what are we really trying to hide or avoid or ignore? Or what do we just not know? And we can get down to what the real problem is instead of reacting. And we just ask a few more questions and see what's really going on. And then if we can do that, the person that we're talking to will feel like, oh, I'm not being attacked. If you got to be careful with this and be patient with yourself. And them. Be patient with yourself though, because it can take some real practice to be able to ask questions with curiosity instead of resentment or blame. We don't want to blame, but being curious, when we ask a question, our subconscious mind has to find an answer. We have to. If you're in a classroom and the teacher asks a question, if you're paying attention, you're going to be searching for some sort of answer. Why is the sky blue? I don't really, we have so many different answers that we can come up with, right? And when we're asked a question, it takes us out of this defense mode that if we're in an argument, we're having to defend our point of view. We're like, oh, wait, what? You're asking me a question? And it sets the emotions back a little bit. You might have to practice a couple of times, but when you get the hang of this, it's going to change everything so miraculously. You get creative. Just what's something that you're interested in? You can ask yourself some questions too, because a lot of times we don't know either. And when you're going into a time that you want to have a date or some sort of quality visiting time, it's okay to prepare ahead of time and study what is their favorite sports team. What do they think about? What is happening in the world around us? Like the water cooler talk, bring something like that to your relationship conversation and get to know each other again. Just be curious. And what made you do that? What are you thinking? Not what are you thinking, but what are you thinking? Really? What's going on inside? What's the real story? Okay. I am so happy that you're here and you're making so much progress. Please share this out, like, follow, subscribe, do all those things. Let me know how you're feeling. I'd love to have this conversation with you as well. Let me know how else I can help you and serve you, and watch out for the upcoming relationship renewal system release. We're going to be setting that out pretty soon, and I'm so glad you're here. Thanks.